Well, today is going to be a good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to another daily conversation about situations in everyday life. So let's talk about it. So today I'm pretty late with my convo. It was a rough morning for me. Um, I saw something on that someone sent me, and it brought me back to thinking about my dad, and it allowed me to realize that you know this process is definitely going to take time. It's not something that um, you're going to be able to just deal with and just bounce back and it's okay. Uh, it's definitely it's opening the door to just the reality. Like a lot of times we close that door to reality because sometimes the reality is very traumatic. And sometimes we keep the door open to reality because the reality sometimes just makes so much noise that it kind of overpowers the trauma or the traumatic experience that you're kind of trying to forget. And this one was more of it's kind of a still one, that just kind of brought me back to thinking about all the things he said to me in the last moments. The slight warnings that he gave me. Not really warnings, I would say, more of a kind of like a message, like a tool to add into my toolkit. And I just was going through them all in my mind, and I'm like, he left me all the tools I really need. Like, there's nothing to be sad about, like he said, you're only going to miss seeing me. And I felt that today, so it was kind of a reality that set in, not like the reality didn't set in before, but it set in again, but in a way that it kind of comforted me and let me know that whenever this feeling comes over, it's not something to be sad about. Stay out of the dark places of the what could have been and what should have been, and that's only going to take me down into a rabbit hole that I don't even want to go down. So let's stay up here is what I tell myself. Let's just look at it like he's just not here in the flesh, but he's still here. And I feel him. Definitely do. Every day. Because he's within me, right? It's a part of me. But it lets me also know that time is not something to play with. And we take it for granted so much. And we got to start to really love on each other now. Give each other our flowers now. Pour life into each other now. Create moments with each other now. Because time is not promised. It's not promised. And I want to enjoy it. It's already rough. It's already, like you feel like bondage sometimes. And you don't really get to live in the moment and enjoy it. And I want to enjoy it. Like every time I think about my dad, it just takes me to just wanting to enjoy life, And I just miss him. I just miss him, you know? I just miss him. So many things about him that a lot of people misunderstood. They just didn't know, you know? But he was definitely one of a kind. Definitely one of a kind. And one day the world will know how awesome he was, you know? One day you all will know. But on the other note, I think today is just going to be a day to just reflect for me and just kind of sit in the moment of reality. No longer closing the door on it to not deal with it or opening the door to let in all the noise to try and drown it out. Really just open the door and sit in the truth of what it is. You know, just understand what your reality is and live in it. Make the necessary changes that you want to make, because you might not want to change anything about your life, even though others may think you should. And if that's the case, you got to stand on your 10 toes and live in it. And if you want to make changes in your life that's get going against what others may want you to be doing, but you're afraid, stand on it. Stand on it. Because you got to live in your truth to really enjoy happiness, to really embark on that utopia of a life. You really have to start at serenity, which is knowing and understanding yourself and living to your core, like living for what is inside of your core. Because that's the only way that you'll get to really be in, like you wake up happy because why? You are living in your purpose. You are being truthful to your core. You're not waking up sad. You're not waking up depressed. You're not waking up like, oh God, another day. Like you're waking up to do what you love. You're waking up next to who you love. You're waking up to care for what and who you love. Like the only way that you're going to feel that is when you're being true to yourself. So that's what I've really learned. You got to just be true to yourself and be happy with what you choose. It's not about you choosing what others want for you. You choose for you. Be happy with you. And continue to be blessed and go out there and be the best version of you.